Good morning, guys. Getting ready to do lesson 7.2, algebra less than. Our essential question, how can you compare two numbers to find which is less? We do the exact same thing we did in finding the number which is greater than. We're going to use 10 towers and cubes again. And we're going to find out which number is less, 22 or 28. I have to draw it out. 22 is my first number. It has two 10s and it has two 1s. 28 is my next number and it has two 10s. So the 10s won't help us here because they're exactly the same. So we have to move on to the 1s place. And 28 has 8 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is bigger than 2, so that tells me that 22 is less than, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the circle, than 28. So when I say less than, all you have to do, guys, is remember that the alligator mouth opens to the big number. 28's the bigger number, so you're just going to flip it around. And then the little end of I guess that's the, back here where the alligator mouth opens, that's the little point. It's always going to point to the small number. So that tells me that 22 is less than 28. You just read it backwards. Okay? So that's what we're working on today. This is model and draw, compare numbers just like we did with the greater than. Okay. Now we have to decide which is less. So we have the numbers 43, 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, the tens place numbers are the same, so I move on to the ones place. And I see that 43 is less than 49 because 3 is less than 9 in the ones place. So when I write that, I just turn my sign around and open that up to the bigger number. And then if you do that, the point of that alligator mouth is always going to point to the smaller number. All you have to do is flip it. You can move it this way and it's going to eat the bigger number, or you can move it this way and it's going to eat the bigger number. Just make sure that alligator's mouth is always open to the big number. All right, circle the number that is less. Now, the tens place numbers are both 3, so I move on to the ones place, and I know that 6 is less than 9. So that's my less number, my smaller number. And the ones place helped me decide that. So then I just write it out like I did with my greater than. 36 is less than 39. And then I write it down here. 36 is less than 39. And just make sure that alligator's mouth is open to the biggest number. But you read it like this. 36 is less than 39. All right? You have to read it the way it's written. That's what most first graders have the biggest problem with. Okay, which number is less than? We have 80 and we have 94. So let's look at the tens. I have an 8 in the tens place and a 9 in the tens place. Well, I know that 8 is less than 9, so it has to be 80. And which helped me, the tens place or the ones place? The tens place, right? And it's wanting to know what is less than, so I have to put the 80. 80 is less than 94. 80 is less than 94. And I can't stress enough, guys, if you will just remember that that alligator mouth opens to the big number, okay? We'll work on reading these later, but just practice on pointing it in the right direction. Okay, the last problem is 57 or 54, which is less. If I look in the tens place, I notice that both numbers are 5, so that's not going to help me. So I have to decide which is less than, 7 or 4. The smaller number is the 4, so it's going to be 54. And the ones place helped me here, right? So I'm going to write it as 54 is less than 57. And then I'm going to come down here. 54 is less than 57. And then I'm just going to make sure that alligator's mouth is open. See, there's his teeth going toward the big number. 54 is less than 57. Okay? So we've covered greater than and we've covered less than. Don't worry as much about reading the problems now this way as just getting the sign turned the correct way, and we will work on reading those later. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.